good for driving the car.
We're on there. I'll show you. Go, 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 go!
Alright, how are you doing? I'm Colin and this is Shine Automotive. And this is part 4 of the TT Audi Frankenstein build, whatever you want to call it. We haven't really set a name of it. Some people have been going Xr2 Quattro with the 2 T's. Love it. Right, down there is the Xr2 and it is looking absolutely sick. That's what the kids say, that's what Long One says, and Emily's been saying it's sick, bruv. In the last video, you've seen the tub getting dropped down. Me and John had cut the floor out, and you've seen the tub getting lowered down, and it cut to the end of the video. That's where the video was going to start off from. I've lost that bit of footage. Basically, we were dropping it down. I knew all along from the last vehicle that we were going to do, which was a 4-door one, that the wheelbase was the same, but we would have to stretch it 80mm. When this came up for sale, which is the Mark II, not the Mark III like the red one, I jumped to my guns and went and bought it. Without thinking about it or looking into it, all the dimensions compared to the Mark III are totally different, which I found out as we've been going through it more and more. So basically, it won't fit that way, and it won't fit lengthways, so it won't fit any way at all. So we've got to make it fit, so we're gonna have to cut it down into sections, stretch it, make it longer. This video is going over the last 4 days of filming we've been doing, and it's been an interesting one, yeah. So let's get on with today and let's see if we can make it fit. You wanted a long video, so we filmed for about 4 days for this for you. Hope everyone's alright, and thanks for everyone that's been watching recently. Subscribers going through the roof, the views on the TT and Xr2 build, all the latest videos are doing wicked. Cheers everyone for that. See if you can spot the pigeon in this one, if you don't know what I'm on about. So, let's crack on with it. That's proper cheesy. What am I doing? Woo! Let's crack on with it. Let's just get on with the video. Right, so we are back on with the Fiesta today. We've got it up in the air. As you can see from the last video, we've got a little bit of an issue. So what we're going to do now is we're going to stick the TT on a 4-post ramp, and Kev is going to start cleaning all these lips off and taking the bottom of the sills off. And I think what we are going to have to do is stretch it. It's going to have to be stretched. But what I'm going to do now, start chopping all this outer inner sill off, and then when we're cutting, what we're going to have to do is cut down the vehicle either side of the sunroof, widen it, and then stretch it in.
We put it on a ramp, you can lift it up, you don't have to let it fly.
Yeah. Take that seam off, back to that, go all the way back to its seam at the bottom.
You got your strength wise. You've got all that still tiny.
Yeah.
Well, sensitive form on this.
And you've got that, right. These are built as the convertibles to the...
Alright.
We've tried to get it to flex. We had strength in it and it don't move. So this stage we've been on now for a couple of hours of working out, measuring on the Fiesta, measuring on the TT. So what we're going to do is just chop the side off. You what, Kev?
Pray.
Pray, yeah, pray. What we're going to do is chop the car down there, take the scuttle off in one full panel and take the rear end off in one panel. Because we need to put this one side on, because we need to make sure we can get the side on. We don't have it too far forwards or too far back, because you've got to think, you've got to open the door, you need to be able to get onto the seat and into the steering wheel. We might have to lose a bit of the dash off. You know, if we lose that off, we'll just put a bit of C-trim in there, which you won't notice. So we'll get chopping now. Kev's going to clean a load of these bits off. I'm going to clean a load of bits on the inside of the car. I think Sam's going to take the windows out and a few other trim bits that are in there. Let's crack on! So Sam is whipping the side windows out now, and then he's going to take the light out, the old roof lining out, see what we've got at the top. He'll carefully take the sunroof out and the sun visors out, and then where the seat belt clips were and bits like that, just getting it stripped down. Kev's finishing off taking that steel where the sill was, that's off. Very nice. It's nice to be back on with the TT though, isn't it?
It is indeed.
Yeah. So then what I've done over here is I've taken the inner sill out and the inner rear arch. I've gone right up the top, and I'm going to do the same with this side, right up there, right along there. Then take the back valance off. I've taken the front valance off, and then I'll be cutting down the roof, that side of the sunroof and that side of the sunroof. Then we'll be offering one side up to see where we are, because there's loads of work to do to this. This is a massive project.
Couple of days, what you know.
I mean, it doesn't even resemble anything like a car now, does it? So there's bits over there, there's bits over there, there's wings, rear valance there, front valance there. Yeah. He is so noisy, isn't he? So I'm going to now draw a straight edge down there. Oh, I need to take this bit of spoiler off. Oh, look at all these screws that Sam's left. It's not like Sam to leave stuff laying around. So what I'll do now is remove that bit of spoiler, and I'll run the straight edge all along there. All along there. And I'll chop it up even more. Holy moly. Can't believe it used to look like this. Well, it's done now, hasn't it? What have we done? Holy moly. Yeah, Mark II Fiesta, Mark III Fiesta would have saved us doing a lot of work. It's chopped in half, there's no going back, and we are going to see this project through till the end, and it is going to be awesome.
Yeah, baby!
Yeah, so we'll disconnect one side off now quickly, and we'll offer it up to the car and have a quick jig about, so yeah, more grinding. Well, if you can get it off the frame.
Oh, narrow Fiesta.
Oh man, let's make a narrow car. Narrow, could you imagine trying to get the glass for a narrow car?
This wants to be down there, and that wants to be right there, you're all right.
You only got it, yeah, you only got it. Right, let's go and have a look at the TT. You've got a side of a car in your hand. What? This is weird. Beep beep.
Ready for the overtake.
I'll drop that down then.
Yeah.
Here's what I want to do. You want to leave the roof off, put the base in, send it to John and have the cage done with the roof off. And it's easy for him to work with.
Easy to get in, isn't it?
You ain't as bad as I initially thought.
Lock that out. He wants to come back to me a little bit. That's about in line with central up wheel there.
If we just chop that bit out, that middle, then we can bang a row of them clamps in there, and then we can just offer the wing up. We might need to come this way a bit. I know you're on with the wheel there, but we are.
I'd say that's bang on with the wheel.
Yeah, which is.
Does you want to get the wheel? Go on, I've got that. It's down here. I brought it back down there near space heat.
Because we are gonna, if we don't have to stretch them panels, that's gonna make life loads easier.
Oh yeah.
If we have to just.
What's it like at back end?
You clear.
Yeah,
clear with the back end. Yeah. That's where you need to be. But if we were to chop a bit of that arch out, right? Because we need arches, so there's nothing stopping us tweaking that back a little bit.
Yeah, don't cut nothing from the front and cut it from the back.
Yeah.
And pull this forward.
Yeah, because I need a new pair of arches anyway.
Yeah.
So even if I get a new pair of arches, a new pair of sills, and then we could just jig that back ever so slightly, because where it's
like
there,
you come forward with the back.
Oh, loads. You can come to there. That's how far you can come forward. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but the shock amount's under there.
But the shock amount's movable. We've looked at that. We could bring the shock amount out and bring the shock amount up onto the top up here. There's no, you know, you can come as far back as that, but you don't need to come as far back as that.
I'd say if we didn't have to stretch it.
If we don't have to stretch that bit.
And just cut the arch, but.
And do the trickery, because the wheelbase isn't the same.
On the wheel, on that.
On this bit.
Yeah.
You know, because we always come a bit, move it that way, which we could bring this forward a bit more. A lot more. If we could get that to there. But that right in, because we can extend this, you see. We can plate up behind here.
Oh yeah.
And then that will bring that to tie into there. So weld that into there. Yeah, I think we'll just drop it down now and just quickly act that out, and then have more of it in.
Glue.
Wax on it. Thing is, if we can leave that impact
Well, if you can leave that there, you might be able to just take a bit out of this sill or something, but. I mean, it's length, front to back, that's more of an issue, isn't it?
I think we need to get
That
this
closer.
close. And maybe even go into it a bit.
It's too far if there.
I think you can come a lot more.
What's width of that? 3 and 3/4. You could have got that to there. You could have got that to hit that. That went another 5 inches.
You'd have to stretch the middle.
But then it's.
You'd have to stretch it there as well.
Because
there we're in.
You're going to get that in that.
We're in.
Yeah, you're all right. That's perfect, really, isn't it?
Oh, what are you doing?
I go for a round again. You pass with the wheel, please.
I don't have one, sorry mate, you have to just use your feet.
It's in the leg room.
You've got plenty of I think you're fitting that quite well. Yeah.
I'm not sure about the window, I might need a bit more.
No, we're just going to have nets, full door nets. Got this section exposed now, and what we're going to do is going to run this new channel in before I start doing anything else to get some strength on this side. Obviously the sill is so massive on this, so we're going to try and drop it down a bit, but we need to consider the dashboard. But what I've looked is the body kit, the standard body kit. If we use that, I'll just lower the standard body kit a bit, so instead of it being closer, it'll just be a little bit bigger to spread the difference. I know it looks massive like this, but when I offered it up last night, it doesn't look too bad. But there's going to have to be lots of little trickery and stretching and little bits in different places to make up the difference. But there we go. So I'll get all this blowed out, cleaned out, work out this bar. This is all a stab in the dark, so but you wanted to see every little bit, so these are all the little bits, so I'll get on and put that in now. I have been racking my head for hours and hours and hours. I can put a smaller radiator on and I can lose that, that's fine. Wheel base there, obviously I didn't need to cut that out anyway. I don't know what size wheels we're going, but with the body kit I can just jig the body kit about a little bit. I can cut that out and give some more clearance. That pillar there's lining up. That's giving enough space to get in and out the car. I'm going to have to trim the dashboard down, take a bit of that scuttle down to get the scuttle to go on there. Scuttle's going to need stretching about 40mm either side. Same as the A-pillar. Going to have to bring the A-pillar in about 40mm to get the windscreen back in. But the problem is on the back end. So I'll just message the lad now. What I'm going to try and do is stretch the back end. I think it's going to be the easiest one because all that there is lining up. I'll have to fold another bit of steel for the sill, but I'm looking at just dropping the standard body kit down a bit, and then that gets rid of, that hides that illusion there, doesn't it? If you imagine what I mean. Got a few of these body kit bits anyway because I'm going to have to stretch them and mess around with them, but that's the body kit is where you're going to get the tomfoolery. I don't want it to look a pig's mess, so it is just time and time consuming. So I'll be chopping the back end off and moving it 150mm will get me back square, so the whole end back end, it's just, I don't want this to look too thick, but it might have to look a little bit thicker, but I don't know. I've bid on the back end now, and then I'm going to just work out, because I can move the arch along, but then you're going to have hardly any back end. So if I can bring the back end back, I can lose a bit of this off, and I could bring the back end back, move the arch to get the centre of the wheel, trying to keep the bonnet the same. Obviously I'm going to have to put 40mm strips on the edge of the bonnet, but I have two bonnets, so hopefully there'll be enough to add strips to the bonnet, and then the bloody boot. Then I won't have much to do there. Can you imagine? Boot, 40mm strip from another boot, put into there. I just need to get the other side somewhat right, and then work out the folds. I don't want to start stitching this in. I think if I work off the flat of the sill there, from there to there and across there is pretty much the same. So that's pretty much the same. I think that's where I need to be with the line of it all, because I can get the bonnet in and then just have to stretch, add 40mm on each side of the bonnet, and then I don't have to do much with the wings, you see. And that sort of looks right, as if you're looking there. What a nightmare this. If it just was 100mm longer, 150mm longer, I could have done some tomfoolery. But if I cut that out to put the wheel on there and then cut the back end down, I think it's gonna look odd. If I just move the arch over, I think it'll look absolutely odd. Can you see what I mean? So I need 150mm from there to get the centre. I could chop the arch out and bring the arch along there, but I think it'd look so odd, like there's no back of the vehicle. So I can just extend the vehicle a bit from there down there, bring it a bit. I don't think this would look so odd if you're with me. Where's something to have a look? Well, stressful days, but this is the joys of wanting to do what we're doing. So if you imagine there, bringing that across, you're getting the centre there, and just extend that back end all the way up there. You know, it might not look so bad, but it's gonna have to be done anyway. I think that's the only way you can get around it, unless you stretch it there. But that, everyone knows that that's a thin strip. I thought about, I'll chop down there and I'll extend there and I'll extend there. But I think if we do the back, drop the arches down a little bit to get rid of the bottom of the sill, lose it there. So just drop that down probably an inch there, centralise that, and then add some on the back. I think if you shorten it, it'll look so odd. I think it'll look odd. I need to really scratch my head around at the moment. So yeah, this is turning out to a massive project, but it's gonna get done. There's gonna be lots of little videos like this, because everyone wanted, you know, a bit by bit video, so that's what we'll do. This might be the end of the video now, because my head's battered with it. I don't know, we'll see. If there's more, I'm doing more. It's hours later again, and what I'm doing some CAD design. So everyone knows CAD design, cardboard and design. Well, I found it funny anyway. Can you be quiet, long one? We're trying to film on set here now.
Sorry.
Right, we've got all the panels off. Sam had got that front end off in the time lapse just then, and we've worked out we can bring the radiator back in. We'll probably lose a little bit of the front chassis leg, but obviously the crash bar, what we'll be doing is when the new front end is on, behind the bumper, if I can get it in, I'm going to fabricate a new crash bar, or the crash bar will be on the inside of the front panel. So one of the two. I think I'd like to bring it out and run it along the new Fiesta bumper that will fit, the same on the back. So if we bring the chassis legs back, that's where the original crash bar mounted onto. If we have to come back a little bit, the crash bar will just run and we'll plate it on and bolt it on, so there will be a crash bar. So if I can refab this, if you can see the size there, we could get a new crash bar into that part of the bumper. That shortens the front end by about 100mm, which is helping us out get the distance. So what Sam's going to do now is going to jump into it and get the dashboard out, then we'll put the frame back on the 2-post ramp, put that side back on, and we'll work out the geometry of getting the two sides on. I need to plate up the box section on the other side, which I'm going to jump into that now as well. Right, so the dash is off, back on the 2-post ramp, got it with that side levelled up because now we're working out the width. Put the other side back on the frame, so I'll chop the back arch out of this, copy that, drop that out, move that back now. Once I've moved that back, I can lower the ramp back down and I'll get the level of this right, and then I can marry that one up and I can work out the distance and work out how far I'm going to have to stretch the roof. But I have got another roof and I've got another rear end that should be with us today, hopefully. So I'll mess around, get the back end of the arch chopped out with that so I can drop it down and I'll have a look. So I'll crack on with that now. See ya! So what I'll do shortly with this, I'll get this dragged in the front. This is one panel I haven't got yet, but I'll have to unstitch this one, and then I think my mate's got half of one, because obviously I'm going to have to cut this part down the middle and then widen it in the middle so it doesn't look odd. I need to unstitch this right, because these strut tops and these chassis legs are alright. Somebody might need them. I might need to use these dimensions at some point. It's crazy. I don't know how many collars up for, I'll have to drop them down. It's getting absolutely crazy how much of a nightmare. Well, it's not a nightmare, is it? It's just how much of a build this is going to be. If I'd have stuck with the original shell that I was going to use, I don't think it would be so hard. This is our building. One day we actually plan to get a long lease on the yard to actually do this, because we make a good building. Make a good, guys. It's just missing a roof. It's all concrete floors. It's got all steels in. There was a mezzanine floor there. It actually got built in the 80s. And it was never actually finished, and the roof was taken down because the access was lost there. And when we tragically had a garage fire, there was access there when we lost our other building. So we're hoping we could make this into a workshop, because what a cool workshop this would be. So look at this non-sunroof Fiesta roof that we've got there. We'll use that for the stretching, you see, because obviously we've cut and left a chunk of the other roof on, you see. So that will overplate it, and then we can fit that on, and that will be fantastic. So I'm going to get that in the garage and the other panel and start doing some cleaning up. So yeah, you did want to see a mega long video and bits every time the plumbing radio's on again. I better just start now. That's your new friend, Ellie. So I'm working out the scuttle now. And hopefully, it's about 40 mil that I'm gonna have to add in. I just need to clean off the scuttle, do some measurements, because that side looks massive, so it is. I don't know yet, but that's still welded on the frame. That one I've just got to get tweaked. I've got it that way, right, and I've got it that way, right, and I've got it sat on the sills, cock on. I don't know if you can see it, I've got it sat on the sills, cock on, both sides, because that's a good ground to go off, and that's lined up. So we'll have to do some alterations here. I've got it far enough forward now that that matches on this side, and that side over there. So very technical. So the back end's on its way. I've got the roof in here, which I'm using for some measurements, which is a non-sunroof roof. Got them in place. Look how cool. Imagine that. Sit it like that. Put it on airbags. That's what all the kids like, innit? Sick, bruv. Sick. Well, the back end has just been delivered now. It's been delivered by Emerson. Have you got a Facebook page, mate?
I do, I'm just Emerson.
Right, I'll put a link down below. If you need any recovery work, make sure you contact Emerson for your recovery work.
Free, no obligation quote.
So yeah, so there we go. So what we think we're gonna do is we're gonna put another axle on the back. Yeah. So, and this is absolute.
Me and Kev are gonna take a quick run for a spin. Stop it in a minute.
Where are you going?
Scarborough. Well, start, mate. On his handle, you have to turn the handle at front.
The cranking handle.
You know, you did turn on the console.
Yeah. Don't be denting that boot floor.
That's alright.
Right.
Flintstone model.
If anybody, there will not be a rear balance in this, because this is what I've got it for, the rear balance. But if anyone needs a really good boot floor and some inner quarters maybe, and some rear wheel arches, hit me up. And because all this is absolutely solid. Look at that rear balance. Look at it, look at it, look at it. You got the back arches there, like mint. So we only need about 75 to 100 mil off the back end of it. We'll see. I've got to do some measurements, and I've got every bit here now. I've got the frame all sorted. Kev's just popped down to do some measurements on the truck because he's doing a Mally fold. But he might be here tomorrow, I don't know. It might be off fishing. Roof's there. I'm after a wing, if anyone's got a wing. The patent wing is alright, but there's 10 mil difference in the arch. So a real nice original wing would help. So we're getting there. So Kev now has decided that he's not going.
I'm going back again.
Are you going back to do Ali? Oh yeah, alright. I'm going to stay here now, Kev's going to go. So I'm going to get these bits welded up, and then we can use the level finder. If I can find that angle finder, I'll get that welded up and put the angle finder around, get the level, get that bar tacked in, and then I can start working out the roof. And Kev can go and get ready for a video that'll be out in 3 or 4 weeks.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. Well, we never know. Never know. Never know with this. One week to the other. There could be another project coming next week. There's not going to be another project coming next week. No. That TT all the way through and getting the race truck finished this year, and then maybe at the end of the year start getting ready with a Cavalier to go to do some rallies next year. We'll see. Let's crack on. Let's get this welded up. So obviously that time lapse must have dragged on a bit. Measure 1,000,000 times. So we've got the line, they're all good. The line all there good. Now I was worried about the height. So I'll set that in the middle, zero that. Then let's put this in here. Let's go from the window, see if we've got it right. It's all live while it's really happening. Sniffling and all sorts, and normally cut all that out. So if I put that now, we zeroed in the middle, I'm either going to cry, oh look at that. So look at that, can you see? So that's zeroed there. I could do with someone else to hold it up there and up there to hold that to see, but then that should be zero. So that's that. Now we're a cock on. So I need to work out the distances on the roof, which I've started doing, and it's going to be about 90 mil to add in on either side, which is a massive. And I'm not bringing, I was originally, when I worked it out roughly, I thought I had to add in 40 mil either side of the windscreen, which is alright, but 90 mil either side, if I brought that in to meet the windscreen, would be absolutely ridiculous. So I'm not going to do it. So I'll get the roof tacked in, then I'll work out what I'm going to do with the windscreen. But I want the windscreen to stay in that distance, so I'm going to look for a screen that will be near enough the same shape, maybe a Mark IV Ford Escort or something, I don't know. I'll have to go with the screen, the measurements of the dome, and then I'll have to try and get a windscreen, even if I get one. I've seen one on Wheeler Dealers before, they went and had it cut. I think it was Wheeler Dealers or Fuzz or something like that, one of the two, and they went with a screen and they managed to cut it to shape. So there we go. Well, you wanted a long video. This is not the most enjoyable video. I don't think it is anyway. I don't know. Right, I've been doing some measurements and trying to get everything level. You know, it has to look really good. What I'm thinking of doing, because we planned it in there, I've written a few things down. I've got a load of measurements written down in a book. But what I'm thinking, if I can build the tub without welding it on, when it goes to have the cage done, if we don't have it actually fixed on to the floor, the tub can be lifted off, make the cage so they can get round it and make a really, really tight cage. Instead of trying to fit the cage in around the stuff, you can just lift it up. Once we've got everything set and the roof welded on and that widened and the back end stretched and that welded in, we'll be able to change the frame and tack the frame on the outside. So it'll be lift it up, drop it down, do some measurements, lift it up, put some bars in, bring it down, make sure it fits, and they can lift it up, tack it all in place, couldn't they? And then John could lift it up and then weld it all. So I'm hoping John, when he's watching this, he's going to want to come here to do the cage, because I don't think he has a ramp in his workshop. So we'll see. What do you reckon, John? Come on. But I think that'll be the best way, and then we can have a proper tight roll cage if the shell is being able to lift up and drop down. I'm sure somebody out there is going to think, oh, we should do it this way and you should do it that way. I'm doing it this way. So I've got all the lads behind me, Kev, John, you know, we've all there giving me tips on how to do it. So yeah, this is going to be a proper build. It's going to look awesome, proper wide. And slam it, it's going to be proper wide. You look to see how wide that is going to be, like nice. It's going to look nuts, isn't it? Absolute nuts. Just got to get a fabricated, someone to make me a nice radiator, to get a radiator push back. We'll be able to get the intercooler push back in there, and we'll be able to put another intercooler in there and push that back. If you want to buy a hat, go grab a hat, help me, because the welding wire and gas is expensive now. And I've got mugs and I've got stickers. So on that note, after all that jigging around, it's ready to start putting the roof on. So what we'll do is we'll start putting the roof on in the next one. See you in the next one. See you next week, definitely next week and the week after. Have a good time. Thank you. Comments down below. Give it a like. If you wanted a long video, this is a long video. I waffled on. Just go home now, Colin, and edit the video. Ta-ra.